Good evening and welcome to our Earth Renewal celebration. Thank you so much for coming and joining with us. We have a whole lot of fun stuff tonight for you, and we hope to take you on a really important journey.
Thank you. Whoa,
Is that on? Try it again.
Thank you for being here and caring about the Earth. Oh my goodness. Okay, bye. Thank you for being here and caring about the Earth. Your presence here is a sign of your commitment to helping the planet. We are the future that we have been waiting for.
This is my planet. This is your planet. This is our planet. And yet we don't own anything. We're merely renters here. The planet's been here for about 2 billion years. The open question is whether the human race will persist for another 200 years or more. And that's largely up to us, the people in the next several generations.
But that's the good news. We are here. We can make climate action happen.
Tonight, we'll take a journey through our feelings, thoughts, and ideas about climate change and climate action. Because how we feel about climate action directly affects what we actually think we can do about it.
We'll learn that climate change can be truly weird and scary to talk about. But we'll also see that just by changing how we talk about it, we can enter a new world of possibility and creativity as co-creators of our future with the Earth.
We just have to evolve our thinking. The Earth is a place we share, not a place we spend.
So let's get started with a reminder of the glory and mystery of nature as seen through her majestic, magical forests.
Sentinels of the let's take a moment and examine some of the powerful images that climate change can bring to mind. Now, turn to a person next to you or two people and talk about what words come to your mind. What emotions or thoughts express how you feel. Go ahead and turn and talk. Can you finish up on what you're saying and turn your attention back up here? Thank you. Let's hear from a few of you in one or two words what feelings and thoughts came to your mind. Raise hands to share.
I'm scared.
Anyone else? Scared?
Sad.
Sad. Despair. Angry. Disappointment. Guilt. Heartbroken.
I said melancholy, and I wrote the blank and we both
Yeah, melancholy.
Oh, great. I heard the melancholy is right in there. Thank you. All right, super. Now, this is actually not surprising that you're feeling this way. More than 80% of all climate news has used the disaster frame, and overusing the disaster frame can contribute to feelings of hopelessness and despondency that actually disengage people from the climate news. And so, a climate psychologist named Per Edson Stokes has identified 5 common responses to this discomfort and uncertainty and fear coming from negative thoughts about climate change. And they are distance, doom, dissonance, denial, and identity. Now, how can we break through all these barriers that are around us? First, understand the difference between hope and fear. Historian and author John Meacham said, as Aristotle wrote, fear is caused by whatever we feel has great power of destroying us or of harming us in ways that tend to cause great pain. To be concerned is not the same thing as fear. Fear is more emotional, more destabilizing, more maddening. The opposite of fear is hope, defined as the expectation of good fortune, not only for ourselves, but also for the groups to which we belong. Fear feeds anxiety and produces anger. Hope breeds optimism and feelings of well-being. Fear is about limits. Hope is about growth. Fear casts its eyes warily across the landscape. Hope looks forward towards the horizon. Fear points at others, assigning blame. Hope points ahead, working for a common good. Fear pushes away. Hope pulls others closer. Fear divides. Hope unifies. So hope is a verb, a proactive, positive way of thinking that leads to positive action. Few people act positively out of fear, but we can transform our fear into hope. And we can do that by reframing the conversation to generate new ideas. For example, distance. It's too far away. Can be transformed into using our social nature, our social networks, and saying, how is this personal to me? And how is this personal to my friends and other people that I care about? Doom. It's too terrible. We can reframe that by support. Support. 3 positives for every threat. Our human brain needs those positives. Dissonance. Nothing I can do about it. Reframe that into simplicity. Simple, climate-friendly choices that a lot of people can do. Denial. Can't be that bad. Reframe that into signal. Meaningful indicators of progress. We all need those. And identity. This doesn't really relate to me. Reframe that into story. Stories of a better future that we can all relate to. So now, let's take a look at the same images transformed into positive frames. Now, how do you feel? Shout out a few words.
Community.
Community. Yes.
Yes.
Hope. What else? How do you feel?
I feel capable.
Capable.
Good.
Good. Better anyway.
Empowered.
Empowered.
At peace.
At peace.
Possibilities.
Possibilities. Enlightened.
Joy.
Joy. Woo. Wonderful. Thank you all very much.
What kind of world will it be with a
what you say. Today's experts pretend to know what they're saying about climate change. And here's your host, Harry Springer.
Good evening, and welcome to That's What You Say. I'm your host, Harry Springer, here to set the record straight on climate change. We have several world experts, or at least people with opinions about climate change to share their unique perspectives. We are joined by Dee Nile, a famous author and advocate for ignoring climate change. She famously insists on using the largest possible car, using coal to power her home, and only recycling banana peels.
Climate Shemaiman. If I want climate change, I'm gonna turn on the air conditioner.
Also, Victor Von Doom, also known to his friends and fans as Dr. Doom, who claims the end of the world is near and climate change is just the beginning.
Everyone's going to die. But I prefer you all go first.
Our third guest, E.J. Skull Crusher Snyder, is a survivalist, famous for his movie tagline, "You'll never get me, so back down off the road, partner."
Man the fort, boys. These pesky fires and floods won't get us.
And we are also joined by Ali Gore, a famous environmentalist and advocate for positive climate action.
I believe in the human race and in our capacity to adapt and evolve to a new relationship with the earth.
Yeah? Well, it'll be a short one.
Okay, now, let's start with Dee Nile. Miss Nile, what makes you so sure climate change is not real?
Well, just look around you. We have air, and we have water, and we don't seem to be doing so bad. How can I worry about something that is happening at, like, the North Pole or something? For
Well-
gosh sakes.
Well, I agree with you there. Who cares about people and critters on the other side of the world? Well, what do they have to do with us?
What do you say, Miss Nile, about the science that says the Earth is warming and species are disappearing?
Well, how do they really know what's happening? Maybe we're all just evolving some new species. Evolution happens. Look, how can I live my life if I have to think about every panda and Pooh Bear out there? I think they should just stay focused on the things around me and address those like my nails. They're a mess, guys. Look at these.
What will you do then when the flooding, fires, and famine come to your doorstep?
Oh, come on. That stuff happens to other people. They just put that on TV to get you to tune in.
EJ, what's your take on the future?
Hey, this stuff is going to happen, and people are going to panic. But I'm not worried. See, my family and I have plenty of guns to fight off climate refugees. We have money to buy plenty of food from QFC. We've built a bunker in an undisclosed location in Idaho. We're good.
If there's a mass migration as people try to escape hunger, war, and chaos, let them starve. Wait. We can give them guns to fight it out. Yeah. That way, we bring population size down. It's a win-win. Especially, since I'm an arms dealer.
Humankind has always adapted. Who cares if the temperature of the earth rises 3 or 4 degrees? Party time! More sun and beach for us. I say burn, baby, burn. California's going to slide into the ocean anyway. That will put out all the fires down there.
It sounds like you're all taking pretty extreme positions. There is another way, you know.
What?
Just get prepared, get involved, make a difference. There's lots of things we can do to help reduce our impact on the earth, clean and heal the planet, and engage our friends, communities, and leaders to do the right thing.
I don't know, the whole thing seems so huge. How can one person have an impact on something so large? And what if only a few of us get involved?
I'm getting involved. I've already built a 19-foot wall around our compound. And I've got enough food and ammo for my kids and grandkids to survive.
It's useless. She's right. The world is too big for us to change. Whatever's going to happen isn't up to us.
But that's my point. It is up to us. All we have to do first is decide we care about working with the Earth, not just taking from it. There's a host of new technologies, tools, and programs we can support to bring the Earth back in balance.
Well, shucks, that's no fun. I was looking forward to holding down my fort and becoming king of my county.
And I've got my Jane Austen book club on Thursday nights. I just don't have time to save the Earth.
And who wants to live in a world without burgers and milkshakes? That's what would happen if we let those climate crazies take our cows.
Well, you certainly have a lot of different ideas on what's going to happen and what to do about it, but I must admit, the only person talking about actually doing anything is Allie.
Thank you. I've always found optimism to be a far more effective point of view for taking action. A wise person once said, whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right.
Well, don't knock pessimism. It's a tidy, simple way to look at the world. I call it the power of no.
I'm not saying I won't do anything. I just don't know where to start.
And I want my family safe, no matter what.
All we have to do is agree that we're in this together. Last I checked, we don't have a spare planet. So let's just agree to make this the best place it can be. Earth. Treat it like you live there.
Well, that's all the time we have, thanks to our interesting guests. And remember, the planet won't take care of you until you take care of the planet. Thanks, folks.
Inside my head, where no one takes a breath without a rasping cough or two. The air full of smoke and damage all around. Creatures in the sea and lying on the ground. I wouldn't live a minute in a world like that, would you? Well, got to fix up the planet. Yes, we do. We need to heal up the planet. Me and you, we got to fix up the planet. Healthy changes do. We're here to work with the planet. Wake with the planet. I said, I'm the man. I'm gonna fix up the planet. We'll clean it and stick and span. Take it, feel it. Just what to do. Well, use the
too big, too scary, and too powerful a problem to deal with. But there are many great things you can do today to measure and respond to heal the earth. First, home. Use a greenhouse gas calculator. You can get a link to measure your current impact, improve insulation and sealing of your home, use LED lights, buy more efficient appliances, switch from oil or gas to electric or solar. With 50% greater energy efficiency in our buildings, we would use 25% less energy. You will have a more comfortable home in winter and contribute to cleaner air. Consider TerraCycling, where plastic products can be turned into clothing. Limit use of plastic bottles. There's always the good old-fashioned cup with thermos at hand. Second, food. Eat lower on the food chain, more plants, and eat local or organic food that is in season. Read the food labels and use farmers markets. You'll reduce your carbon footprint by about half, reduce methane from meat production, and help store rather than release CO2. At the same time, you will be healthier if you eat a more plant-based organic diet. Consider joining the Reducitarians who commit to eating less and eating healthy. Third, transportation. Drive less and use bicycles, walking, or public transportation more. You can drive an electric, hybrid, or high mile per gallon vehicle and fly less. This is challenging, but a key way to reduce the 25% carbon emissions that come from our transportation. We will get cleaner air, and walking and bicycling are healthy exercise. Fourth, enjoy being out in nature, which we came from and are still part of. This will motivate you to participate in climate actions to preserve it. Fifth, vote for people who recognize the need to address climate change. Talk about the need for climate action. Don't be shy. It's our earth and sky. Sixth, learn more about climate action by reading online or books such as Drawdown by Paul Hawking, or What We Think About When We Try Not to Think About Global Warming by Per Espen Stokes. You will get other good ideas to empower yourself and others. You can start to form your own vision of a future world that you want to live into. What is your story?
Save the world, it's up to us to make it happen. The call of the wild's been heard, and now it's time to set it free. The time and the place are now to bring our planet healing. Let's make all our actions clear, make the world we want to be. A world where air is clean and forests fresh and green, where water clean flows for all, where people do their part, the earth within their heart, we water all our creatures big and small. We can make a world, yes you know we'll make it happen. The flag of our heart will unfurl, now it flies for all to see. Join us in faith and love, healing earth's our deepest passion, as sure as the skies above, we all know it's going to be. There's no time to wait, nor proving on our fate, the earth is here to partner in our care. With every single act, we seal our common pact. Balance out our purpose will be there. Who's gonna save the world? It's up to us to make it happen. The call of the wild's been heard, and now it's time to set it free. The time and the place are here, if we bring our planet healing. Let's make all our actions clear, make the world we want to. Thank you. Cheer for the kids.
sanctuary and write down at least one thing you can commit to improving, changing, or learning about to help our planet. Then take that leaf to the tree of healing in the back of the sanctuary and post it to the tree.